What's going on, traders? How we doing? Welcome back to Start Swing Trade. And yes, we're in a fast market right now. There's a lot of times where we could take time to slow things down, but it seems like we're getting a little bit of a speed up here in the market. Let's go diving in and see what we find. Of course, you guys can take a look at the Qs right now, battling back, and I put it as the titles. Did we break today? Because we definitely did a hard downside action just a few minutes ago. So taking a look here to see if we're going to recover, right? I mean, you guys can see we've been battling kind of all day, coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down. And a lot of this on the action, of course, off of AMD. Today, AMD battling today, of course, as they released their AI mentions. And yes, they mentioned even Amazon on that, and Amazon was coming back. So we'll see what happens here towards the close. Will we get a push up towards the close or a crackdown? Was this a sell the news event? That's what we were asking ourselves. If you guys know or didn't take a look at it yesterday, CRM kind of did a very similar move, right? It went up into the event, then came down. But today was kind of a little bit weird because AMD actually came down, came back up, and people were looking for that breakout. And then boom, it got hit hard. Now let's see if it can recover here, or does it make the next leg lower? That's why I'm also paying attention, of course, to the Qs today to see what happens on that. Do we make another drive towards 364, or do we come right back down through that 362? We're just going to have to keep an eye on it here. So I'm watching different stocks. I'm also watching Microsoft here to see what happens on this. I kind of like this if it comes right back down. But a thing to kind of keep in mind is that I do see kind of a little bit of a head and shoulders here. So I'm thinking, hey, does this just get smacked down right back down towards the downside? I'm trying to be patient right now. I might get short some Microsoft here during the show, and I'm just keeping a battle. I'm also in Tesla, and I'm actually in the red here in Tesla a little bit as I started to swing trade here for the Tesla breakdown, but definitely early to the move. I'm glad I went at it with a very, very small sizing today. So I do want to let you guys know about that new swing position that's open. And I took a lot of profits in Intel today. I had to take it, team. I took 3 different times profits on Intel. I took profits at 33.14. I took profits at 33.50s, at 33.47, and this is all from 30.93. So I had to take some profit off. Took about, let's say, what we got about 10. I'd say about like 30%, if not 40% of the position off here. So pretty much a big chunk of it off here on Intel. And then if I take a look at this, also looking at XOM, do I take some profits here? Well, I'm thinking that this can keep coming lower. Of course, these are swing trades that I have on right now. And I do have a day trade on right now in the SQQQs. I'm trying to battle with this one from 2022s. Just want to let you guys know about that. Full disclosure like always. But I'll let you guys know if anything happens there. Keeping a watch on the Qs right now to see if we're going to make a move through the 363s. What's up with AMD? Will we get a bounce here? Or will we come right back down towards the downside here? Big battle right now between the Bulls and the Bears. Microsoft cutting right back down below the 334s. This is where I wanted to take my shot here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here. Let me see if I can get it. There you guys have it. Just got a little bit there at 33.85s. Okay, so I'm going to hold off the recent move. So 334, let's say 20s will get me out here. So I'm going to risk about $40 here. Nothing crazy, but taking a little bit of a shot here on Microsoft to the short side here on Microsoft. We'll see what happens there. 334, 20s. I'll set up the stop there just to make sure if it does come back up. Of course, when I'm doing a show, I want to be careful with these types of positions. So I do set stops just to protect myself. SQQQs, can we get another push up? Can we get the Qs to kind of crack here? That's also what I'm looking for. We'll see if we get that action. Of course, you guys know I'm taking trades as this happens, so I'm trying to make analysis live time right here, real time. So you guys smash the like if you guys enjoy that. Of course, throw up stocks that you guys are looking at in the chat. We got about 80 of you guys here. Smash it up. Let's see if we can get these numbers up. Look at my screen like fight right now. And yes, it is a fight. How you guys doing out there, team? It seems like it's a tough one. Fubo isn't the same as GME. What are you guys looking at, Jenny? DKNG wants a new 52-week high. Ooh, DKNG. Yes, that is doing well today. Nice move there in this move. Of course, this is in gambling. And where is this at? This is in the cyclicals. Now, I will tell you that all industry sectors are in the green from the open. So we could see technology just push right back up, right? We've seen this decline all day. It could just push back. And maybe I'm just playing a little bit early here, and we could still see a recovery. So you just got to be careful out there, team. We'll see what happens here. Taking some shots, but like always keeping what? Risk to reward in mind. Even if I don't win, I've already won today because of Intel. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at another one that I did take some profits in, which was Square today. I had to take my profits in Square today because it just felt like the position wasn't going anywhere. So took my money and ran from Square. And I can't be mad about this position because I got this really at a really nice spot right by 60s. So there you guys see it back up there to 65s. Could this keep going? Yes. But I said, you know what, today, let's pay ourselves and make sure if this market turns around on us that we're ready for it and we take in profits. So there you guys see it. I'll keep watching. Plug, how's that one doing? Another move up towards 11. Can this one keep going? We'll see what happens there with FSIL. FSIL is another one that I kind of keep an eye on this one. And then Blink is another one to keep an eye on. And look at that move. Well, you get a nice little plug day one move. Now you're getting a day two move there and Blink. We'll see if this can keep moving. All right, we'll see what else goes on in the market. How we doing out there? Nicola about to take one, says Crow. We'll see if it takes one or not, Crow. Oh, man, I can't believe this thing's still around. All right, what's going on out there, team? What are you guys looking at? I'm going to keep up with you guys today. Things are moving. Play is moving today. Let's see what's going on there. Play. Oh, my God. What happened here, man? This thing is just a straight rocket. Who's going to Dave & Buster's? Let me know, team, because somebody definitely is. Look at that move. We did not expect this move, and that's an interesting move there with Play. And where is this in? This is in restaurants, so something to keep in mind. Let's take a look at restaurants today, see what is doing well there. Of course, you got Play. You got BFI. That's called BurgerFi, and that's bouncing off the bottom. That's a pretty cheap stock right now. Rave getting a little bit of a move. Chewy. The Chewy. Who likes Chewies out there? Get myself a little Chewy action. This actually looks not too bad there on the 15 minutes, holding around the 1450s. We just got to keep an eye on it to see what happens. All right, I'm keeping an eye out on my trades because it just seems like it's that type of day where we're going to get some action here towards the close. The only thing is, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a Q recovery or is it going to be kind of the Qs coming right back below VWAP? That's what I'm keeping an eye out for. I did take a little bit of a shot there in Microsoft. We went down to 3350s. I need to see this get through that level. If we can get through that level, I'll take some profits. Let's see what happens here. If we can start the crack here. I think a big part of this is all about AMD. Will AMD make a move right back to the downside or back to the VWAP? If it does make a move back to the VWAP, I think we'll see some tech recovery. Keeping an eye out there. Alts up 4%. Thoughts on ChargePoint? Let's keep it going, team. I see you guys dropping topics left and right. Normally, I go through topics, go through the market. Today, you guys run the show. Keep throwing up those tickers. And I know I'm even going to get yelled at by how loud I am, but that means I'm excited. You guys out there be excited. Hit the like button. Let's see what happens here towards the close. And what shots are you guys taking out there? I'd love to hear. Walter, what are you guys taking a look at? Easy. You looking at corn for a swing? My man, these guys look at everything here. Easy, Walter, you guys are beast out there. Shout out to you guys. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is in the market today. Let's go. Basic materials is kind of leading us up to the upside here. So we'll see what happens on that. That definitely getting a little bit of a lift there. Aluminum, second day in a row that I've seen this start to take off. Lumber starting to push a little bit higher. Copper, metal, minerals. I've been keeping an eye on names here. PLL, nice one move today towards 60. Bounces right off of that. I'll keep an eye on these names. LAC still showing up here. I'm looking for the move finally through 22s. I still have yet to get that move. I've set alerts here for that and still doesn't make the move higher. We'll see what happens there. LTHM making a nice little move higher towards the 27s. This looks like it really wants to make a move here on the monthlies. Now starting to push. You got ALB, of course, some bigger names, SQM. See if those can really start getting a nice move on and pushing to the next level. All right, I'm just keeping an eye out on my trades. If I can get that nice next level move here in Microsoft, it just went close to it. So let's go to the stock. Let's see if I'm able to at least take some profits here in Microsoft through the 33.50s and then back towards 33s. I just want to see it crack that 33.50s here. If I could get that crack, I could probably take a little bit more profits. And of course, what's bouncing back here? I'm watching just AMD. Look how it's stair-stepping here around the 125. There could be some buyers that stepped up there as it cracked through and bounced back. So I'm keeping an eye on it. You guys out there, smash the like. Any thoughts on sound? I'm going to keep flowing here, guys. You guys enjoy it. Smash the like button as I keep trying to push on what is moving out there. Of course, right now you see sound has made a couple of drives higher. This looks like it is trying to reload the 330s, but I just don't see it as the biggest opportunity for me. Now, one thing I definitely point to is the stock has just been stair-stepping its way higher. So that doesn't look bad at all, especially on the weekly. As you can see here, kind of more on the weekly, you're kind of getting a nice little drive higher. Holding 3 now looks good here. Can it make that next step up here? Big level to watch is going to be 340s. Once you get through there, that's the 4 step up. We'll see what happens there in sound. The CEO from Smashburgers is moving BFI. A little birdie told me that it's going to announce something big this summer. Keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens, team. Palantir mentioned in the chat, EV go. I got you, team. Let's keep it going. As long as you smash the like, I'll get these names up. Palantir, let's see if this can make a move to 16 here and start driving higher. Q's trying to make a move up here, so I got to keep an eye on it because definitely don't want to see this kind of drive here through the 363s. It is recovering, and man, that was a quick downside action move there. Could we have just gotten the algos to pick this up? It could easily happen. Look at the AMDs trying to make that recovery through the 126. We'll find out what happens here. All right, Microsoft just slightly getting into the red there now. It was up a significant amount, so definitely don't want to push it too much, right? I'm risking about 40 bucks here. I've been up about 50 bucks. Wanting to keep coming right back down, but we'll see what happens there on Microsoft. Will it drive higher? AMD right around the 126, just trying to battle here higher. I know there's another couple stocks that we need to keep an eye out for, of course, NVIDIA. How's this monster doing? Look at it right near the top of the move here. So definitely a big move up here today on the move for NVIDIA. And this is why you got to be careful if you're shorting NVIDIA. I did see some traders short NVIDIA, and believe it or not, I shorted NVIDIA and made money today. But to tell you the truth, I don't know how, because this chart just tells me it wants to rip higher. And if NVIDIA rips higher, why won't AMD just kind of catch the bid here? So that's why I got to be really careful if we're going to get this next drive higher. We'll see what happens here on AMD. It was a tough event there. Palantir, of course, we've talked about it. Will it make that 16 move? Let's keep it going. EV Go, of course, getting a nice little lift there. We'll see if this can kind of keep pushing. I've been talking about charge point also. Would it get the nice little move back through 10? It's been up here multiple times, so I definitely think that $10 level is very important. We'll see if we can get above it and definitely base there. It'll be looking interesting in charge point, EV Go, and you can look at Blink also. All right, let's keep it going here, team. Jenny's bringing up some of the ones that she got here. She got Doc U, Nike, and Square to swing. Are you going long on these, Denny? I'd love to know. I'm thinking that you're going long. Doc U, we'll see what happens there. That one's trying to recover here back from their earnings. It wasn't the best move there, but we'll see if this is able to recover. All right, now what are some other names here? Nike. Can Nike recover? It feels like it's just hanging on by a thread here, but it could go lower. I think one thing that you see here is kind of like a little bit of a bearish pattern, but if it can get back above these levels, especially kind of clear back towards like 108 and hold and close up there, it won't be looking too bad here on Nike. We'll see what happens if it does cut back down through the 106. Raz talking about Meta. Meta can't stop, won't stop. So that's one thing I'll definitely say. Today you did get a nice little up move through the resistance and then a push right back down. So I'd keep my eye on that 275 level. Seems like it's pesky right now, but definitely it still hasn't broken the trend, right? And Meta does still have a huge gap to still fill. A move eventually coming into 289s. We'll see if it does make that push. It's been a monster move there for the year for Meta. Lowell breaking out. Man, this is one that I was trying to get in the 210s and in the 214s, and now it's up there towards 217. It's a good move there. And of course, Who brought you lows? Well, of course, it was none other than Christian Fromhertz. It did go down that day. That was right here on the 9th. I tried to play it on that day, cut down here, now recovering there towards the 217s. Doesn't look too bad. Home Depot actually pulling back today. That's interesting to see that pull back as we're kind of keep battling here. So the Q's still in the battle here. It still hasn't decided which way it's going to go, but it looks like it's trying to make that upside move here. AMD tried to make a little bit of an up move there and then right back down. So we'll see what happens here. Can it make a move through the 126 levels and start to recover? If it does, well, I'll probably have to stop out some of these trades. All right, let's keep battling. Let's see what else is being brought up in the chat. What's going on out there, team? PayPal next. Let's go to PayPal. All right, PayPal getting a nice little lift here today. I've been wanting to get a little bit of a piece of PayPal, but it's just a little bit, it just doesn't move. Even Square moved more than PayPal, so I just don't know about PayPal. It really needs to close back above 64s. Maybe it can get the drive that it needs. All right, I'm going to keep going. You guys keep throwing up those names. We'll keep taking a look. SDGR, a breakout there. Yeah, it looks like a health information service company. Getting a nice little lift through the 40s. Not looking bad looking chart there and continuing to go. We'll see if this can keep pushing strong. Nice little move above 39s right now. We'll see if that can keep holding. All right, we'll see what else is making a move here. Check your SQQQ. Yeah, I mean, it's coming down. That's for sure. It's really close to stopping me out there, team. We'll see what happens there if it does stop me out. This is going to be a little frustrating because I was up about 25 cents on the name. I'm in from 2022, so we'll see what happens there. I do have it to stop out right underneath there, so we'll find out if it does stop me out here. But looking to see if the Q's reverse here towards the close. It's about 322s, and it is trying to make a little bit of an up move. I think this is all about AMD here, and that's why I'm focusing on that one to see if it makes a down move here or a move above 126. CME Fed Watch up to 94.25 for a pause tomorrow. I think that's what we will get, so we'll keep an eye on it. Long on Nike and Docu. Wish you the best, Jenny. Becca in the chat, RXT. Let's take a look here. Rackspace Technologies. What does Rackspace Technologies do? I'm guessing something to do with clothes, but don't know really much. Is this kind of like use or rentals of clothing? I don't know too much about this. Maybe you can give me a little bit more information, Becca. I will give you at least my outlook just based on the daily. So daily has kind of like an inverse head and shoulders here. It did seem like you did kind of start going a little bit higher. This doesn't look too bad here as you start to push back through this level. So I'd really look at the kind of the 175 level to kind of hold here and look to see where's the next levels that we can stop. Well, the first thing I look to the left and I see some support here, some resistance here. That was around the 2s. We were right on that level. And then from there, what's the next stop? Next stop for me is going to be a move towards like 223s. We'll see if we can get back up there and start making our way to 225 on Rackspace Technologies. And of course, pullbacks here seem to make sense around kind of the 180s. But I like how it's going sideways here. Doesn't look too bad. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here to see what's going on. Now I'm getting a little bit of a reaction here. Right back down is Microsoft. So we've got to keep an eye on it here. And I'm getting to the point where I don't want it to go back through 334. I want it to crush down through 333s here. And we're getting a first time action here. So I want to go ahead and take some profits here. Let me go ahead and try to take a little bit of profits. All right, just took a little bit of profits, half off there on Microsoft, and now can leave the rest of it to continue working. Anything that it comes back there towards my entry, I'm going to go ahead and just stop out of the rest of it. That's 333.85, so I can set a stop there and just try to let this position work on the day. 333.85. Going to go ahead and set the stop there and just look to see if this can work here. Now we're starting to see the Qs. What will the Qs do? Will it make a big down move here towards the end? You guys see me battling. Tesla. Let's go ahead and see what I can do on that one. Of course, it looks like we're now having a little bit of some triple top action around the 259 levels, right? So if I wanted to, I could take my shot off the 259. I do have a little bit of position on the swing from 257. I'm going to keep it simple right now. I'm not going to add here. I'm going to look to see if I start coming down tomorrow, and I can always add to this position because this is like a blow off top type position. Don't need to chase the top. Let it show me that it's breaking down. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Yellen getting involved in things again. Oh, no. You know how that one goes. I do see some more names coming in here. I will keep going, guys. Let's take a look here. GM, what's going on in GM? Nice little rip higher, of course. This one loves to move with Tesla. Tesla moves higher. I've seen these move higher. We'll see if these can continue to run forward up there to 413. Can these keep pushing? We'll keep an eye on it, team. All right, let's keep going. What's out there, Nicholas? How you doing? You seeing anything? All right, let's keep pushing. Money Mitch is in the house. You guys know where it's at. All right, let's take a look at some other names here. I do see a lot of names being called out in the chat. I'm going to keep it going. You guys just keep it flowing. I got you guys. We'll talk about all the stocks in the market if we can. All right, you guys can see Disney here. I've been talking about, will we get a move up through this gap towards 100? What do you see here? Well, I definitely see some resistance right around this kind of 94.24 level, kind of turned around there today. Can we get back through the 95 and start closing towards the 100? I think you want to see Netflix make a move there towards like the 450s. If that is going to happen, Netflix isn't looking bad on the day. So if you're looking for a stock that's looking good, actually Netflix doesn't look bad at all there. We'll see what happens there. All right, Microsoft, can it make that crack here through the 333s? Looking for the next leg lower here in the Qs to crack it back down towards 362. AMD right back down, and this was the one that I was kind of keeping a bogey on, and now we really can kind of watch above 126. Get out of everything. Let's see what happens if AMD can really break through 123 on the downside. All right, we'll see what happens if we can continue going down. All right, let's see what else is being brought up in the chat. I see Ulta being brought up here. I did see Ulta get a kind of a raise on analysts, and it is starting to come back here. I think the analysts are chasing kind of this gap for it to kind of close, and I can't blame them. I think that, gaps close so much in this market and recently that it doesn't look too bad, but we'll have to keep an eye on it if Ulta is definitely worth a challenge here towards the upside. Of course, got to be careful. We'll see if it does fill the gap. Can it get up there to 476? I mean, you're talking about like a 30 point move here. Doesn't look too bad here. The only question is, where do you risk from? Today, this is getting a little move from around 430s. So maybe about half of that move back. That's about $16. So we're talking about $8 down, somewhere between 438s and 437s. We'll see what happens there in Ulta. Maybe then I'd take a shot, but you got to be really close towards this bottom here because you can get caught in a stock that just is going sideways and trying to close a gap after getting hit on earnings. All right, we'll see what other ones being called out there. Definitely a lot of stocks making moves in the market, so you guys keep throwing them up. I'll keep taking a look. Oracle being brought up here. Let's take a look there at Oracle. All right, I do want to announce there, I did get a hit there on Microsoft there. I think it came back and just stopped me out. No, actually, I think I got hit there on some profits. Yeah, it looks like I took some profits there. So looks like I got out of the position there in Microsoft. I got a fill there at 33.50. So got out of that position. Don't know exactly what happened there, but I'm not going to stress too much about that. I just got to keep an eye on it here, see what happens with the Qs, see if that gets lower, because I still got the SQQQs, looking to see if this is going to make another push. If not, it's going to take the profits and run. But definitely, I don't know what happened there with the Microsoft position. I'll review that afterwards, team. I'm doing this live in front of you guys, so smash the like. I got you, Jenny. We'll take a look at that. SoFi being brought up in the chat. We'll take a look here. SoFi is definitely trying to make a move and continue pushing higher. The stock has been just driving. I think that we could see the stock drive also based on what could happen with forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. Of course, I've mentioned this multiple times, and I feel like there's going to be a big mention of it eventually, but that by that time, it's going to be too late. The Supreme Court is supposed to make a decision on student loan forgiveness for Biden to see if it's legal. And if that doesn't go through, I think you would see SoFi get a spike, right? If that does go through, you could also see it spike down. So we'll see what happens here in SoFi Technologies. Can it get through 10? Something to keep in mind. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look there at Oracle. We'll keep watching some other stocks there. That definitely looks like a dark cloud, and it does look like it's turning around here after really being strong and now just coming back down. And I think that where we got to be really careful is AI stocks just really quickly turning to the downside, right? And that's where we could really kind of get caught. All right, we'll see what happens here. If we can continue making a nice little lift here. Q's coming down there. Now we'll look to see if it can crack the VWAP and comes below the 362.50s. AMD, will we come to the downside or will we make a move back through 126? Things to keep in mind. Unity, also on my radar today, has just been stair-stepping sideways here. You guys see this chart right now? I'm looking at this. This is kind of the only stock that I was really interested on this, on the kind of the bull side here, for a nice little push there towards 39. So we got to be careful here in the market to see what's going to happen. Will we get a nice little push up here with Unity towards the close? Doesn't look too bad here. The big thing I think is just keep an eye out on the Qs, keep an eye out on AMD. It's going to give us a signal here, I think, towards the close. And I'm just looking to see, are we just leaking here on AMD, or are we going to get a quick spike? And if we do get a quick spike, where do we go to? I think that's something to keep on watch. All right, let's see what happens here in the next couple of minutes. Will we get that cut? All right, let's go to GME doing its thing. GME getting a nice little uplift today. I can't blame you guys for taking a look at that. I know that Cohen kind of added to this and GME is coming back here, but is the company going to turn things around? No, by any means, I don't think this company is going to turn things around. And it is coming off of kind of like a weekly bottoming area. So you guys can keep an eye on it. That's around the kind of the 22.42. So now you definitely are trying to push. We'll see if we can actually base here around 27s and start making a move to 30s. I definitely am going to leave this one alone, at least for right now. But we'll see if this one can make a move. If anything, if it does make a move above 30s, I think you might be finding some shorts around 30s and 33s. So do people really believe in GameStop anymore? I just don't know. Unless they change their name to AI Stop, I don't see this changing. All right, let's keep going. Just a trade, and it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with taking just a trade, right, Jared? There's nothing wrong with like an hourly little pullback, looking for the trade up, renting this name. The only question is, do you want to be an investor in this name? Those are things that I'd think about. All right, let's see right here. Now we're getting a little bit of a down move here, at least an attempt for the down moves for the crack here at the 362.50s. Will we go lower here? Will the AMD go lower? That's another thing that I'm looking at here to see if we crack down. Microsoft definitely got a little bit of a bounce there, eventually stopped me out on this last little push up. But hey, it could have been a nice one to kind of stay in and kind of keep the battle. We'll see what happens here if it does kind of go lower. This one still looked good there. I could risk off of the 50s here and get right back in, but there's really no point. It's just such a tight risk. I'm just asking to get stopped out. We'll see what happens here on the Qs. Can we make another step up, or does it come right through that 362.50s? You can see we bounce right underneath that. All right, let's keep going. What happened to East? East, I'll take a look at this. East, can this push up through 8? I don't know the news on this one. I know I can see here it's a winery and distillery. Definitely getting a huge spike here. And I can see the pullback, not looking too bad here as it keeps kind of lining up here. Looks like it got halted earlier, so I will mention that. Be careful with the halts, right? Let's go to the 1 minute and see how this is kind of pushing. Did get a nice big halt, went up there to 8, then pulled back to 6. Just trying to reload right now around the VWAP. And I think that there's kind of a battle right now with the algorithms on this one. We'll see if it takes 7 and goes to 750. East done, bro. Yeah, I mean, it looks done, but hey, it was a nice little pop there for a winery and distillery, right? We'll find out what happens here. Microsoft going lower, a little frustrated that somehow my position closed there. I need to review what happened there on the stop and why I got triggered. But definitely big move there on Microsoft. Doesn't look too bad. Now down there towards 333s, 26. And then we'll look to see if the Qs really crack here. It came right back down and then bounced. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. I'm trying to stay on like the 5 minute. If I go to the 1, it's not going to really help me. It's just going to show me more of the uncertainty right now. We'll see what happens here. AMD trying to make that move and not being able to make that move right now. Is it going to crack or not? We'll see. It's 3:36. We're almost to the end of the day. We'll see if we leak here towards the end. All right, let's keep going. Is PayPal a buy? I can't tell you if anything's a buy. And Dolphin saying, no, you're wrong. I'm a gamer who hasn't stepped foot inside GameStop in over a decade. I'm surprised if they're around. Yeah, I'm surprised they're around too, man. I don't think they'll be around for too much longer. We'll find out. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other stocks here. I see MVIS mentioned in the chat. Let's take a look at MVIS. MVIS has been getting a nice little uplift, and of course, this is a high short interest name, so nice little pullback to 6. Doesn't look too bad. QS is one that I've been talking about with this move. Would it get QS started? And you guys can see it here. Nice little move. Nice little move today for QS, and something that I definitely want to keep on watch. Will this stock start getting going? And can this one be a retail favorite? Oh, yeah, it can be. So I'm going to keep this one on my radar. This one could really make a move. We'll see what happens there in QuantumScape if it makes a move back there towards 8. All right, am I going to get the move or not? I'm sorry, team. I'm going back to this. I'm just focusing on trying to nail this last little bit of this trade. It's in the green, good on the SQQQs, but I'm looking to see if we're going to break back above the VWAP here towards the close. If we do reject right back down below that 30s, I'll probably just cut it here, but trying to get as much gains as I can on the day. Q's trying to make its move back here, and that's what's holding us up here. I think the big part is AMD not letting go right now and just kind of slowly leaking, and at any moment could rip back to the upside. All right, let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA was also trying to make an up move. This is something to watch, right? Because if it makes that move through 410, will the Qs just follow? It could very much follow. Look at Apple today. Apple's just hanging out right below the VWAP, trying to make an up move, but hasn't gotten that lift off. A lot of that, I think, is also the Qs just sticking around. And if they stick around, a lot of the times this market has been wanting to drive it higher. So that's where I get a little bit worried that the Qs are just getting ready to make a move to 363 and start squeezing me out. So that's where we got to be a little bit careful. AMD still on the leak here. So maybe the Qs can turn around, but doesn't look good right now. All right, the battle's still on here for these names to see what happens to the end of the market day. And I think that this is very important because it's going to determine how AI stocks look tomorrow. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Breaking news in oil. Check oil stocks. I got you. Nicholas coming through. What's going on in oil? Nick, if you want to join, you're more than welcome to. Hit me up a little bit on Slack. I can bring you on, Nick, if you know the oil news. And I'm short some oil names, so looks like that is getting hit right now. Let's take a look at WTI. All right, let's take a look at WTI. It looks like oil kind of coming down here recently. Let's see what happens if we do get a little bit of a spike down here towards the end. Let's go to Oxy. See how that's doing. That's just coming down there to 59. Let's go to Chevron. All right, we'll see what happens there. I am going to try to get Nick on here towards the close here. We got about 20 minutes left here. Why not? Let's get my man on here. We got some news for us. Sending him the link right now so he can join in and tell us a little bit about some oil and gas related news. But let's keep going. All right, what's your favorite stock to trade? Says AOK. I got you, AOK. What's my favorite stock to trade? My favorite stock to trade, honestly, I like trading the leverage vehicles like SOX S and SOX L. I have a tendency of trading them pretty well, and I trade these often, right? I think that the important thing is whenever you're trading like daily leverage vehicles, just understanding that that's what I'm playing them for, right? I'm just playing them for the intraday action, and that's it. Right now, you see me playing the SQQQs. We'll see what happens there. Will we get a takedown or not? The Q's still just propping here, man. And I think they're about to make a little bit of an uplift here. So I'm going to have to take the profits here in the SQQQs and just run with the money here. So let me go ahead and take those off here. This doesn't look like it's going to get the move there today, team. All right, going to go ahead and take the profits here. Taking the profits off there. It just doesn't want to work out there for me. So I did take some profits, But hey, not the best day there. Just battling. Could have taken some more profits on this. Was up there all the way to 220.55s. Now we're seeing it come down. We'll see what happens here on the Qs. They're trying to prop here towards 363s. Unity was one that we were talking about with setting up right now at the 38.50s. It just put in a nice little push there towards 38.79. We'll look to see if it can recover 39s here. I'm going to go ahead and kick it to my man here, Nick Brown, to find out what's going on in oil. Like always, we're going to go ahead and try to bring him on whenever we have some breaking news, something that we can bring you guys of value, of course. Let's go ahead and bring on my man, Nick Brown. How we doing?
Hey, Mitch. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, always good to talk to you, my friend. What did you find in oil that just hit recently that's making some stocks move here?
I was going to say, within the last few minutes, Bloomberg, this just hit the Bloomberg terminal. Bloomberg Wires is now reporting the United States is going to be buying about 12 million barrels of oil in 2023 to boost their reserves. The total includes barrels already announced for August and September, and the Department of Energy says they're going to continue to seek opportunities for more purchases. So that's the latest I have on the oil market. We do know Saudi Arabia and all the OPEC headlines, that's filtering in. Goldman Sachs within the last couple of days has been lowering their oil targets. This oil sector is going to be heavily traded for a while. There is a lot of movement in the oil stocks, and so we're going to continue to moderate this. And, you know, this is just probably one of several headlines we're going to be getting from the Department of Energy regarding how many barrels of energy of oil they're going to be buying. So it is probably going to be not the last headline we're going to see with this moving market. But take a look at ExxonMobil. Those shares, along with all the others, and WTI crude actually finished the session higher today at last check. WTI was actually up futures 69.42 a barrel, so below the 70 level, but always good to check on those shares. We'll see what happens tomorrow. As this news filters through the news cycle, we'll see if any calls tomorrow from any of the banks or research companies for Exxon, any of the other oil major moves. We'll see if they'll get upgraded depending with this announcement.
Yeah, I love it, and definitely want to keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens there in XOM to see if this kind of gets a little bit of a spike. I've been looking to see when the U.S. would mention anything of the reserve. Of course, they mentioned that they wouldn't do it this year, and it looks like they're starting to maybe go a little bit back on that. So we'll see what happens here. If they do take another hit, will they lift? Because, of course, we need to fill those reserves because then we're taking demand, right? And so, of course, we put out supply. Now we're looking like we need a little bit of demand to fill those reserves back up. That could actually cause a spike in oil prices, right? And so that's one thing that I need to think about as a person that's short XOM from around 108.42. So I need to think, do I cover here because of what the U.S. is doing? Or will this kind of just show more and more how prices are coming down, and that's what the U.S. expects. We'll see what happens here if XOM does get a spike overnight. Thank you, Nick Brown, for bringing us a breaking news report in the oil game. We'll definitely have you back, my friend. If you see anything else out there, you buzz me. We'll bring you on really quick.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, Nick. All right, and AMD did not like that news. Let's take a look at AMD. Is it starting to come down here? Yeah, it is starting to come down here towards the close. And, of course, as soon as I sold the SQQQs, it starts to kind of get a little bit of a push here. So now I just got to determine, do I want to kind of swing it here? Do I want to take some other stocks here? Those are the things that we need to think about. Microsoft did make a little bit of a move up and then comes right back down here, team. So we'll see what happens there, if this starts to crack or not. Do I start to swing maybe a little bit of the SQs? Could think about that on maybe like a Moo account. On the prop account, it definitely can't do that. But we are starting to close a little bit here. I think the big thing to watch overnight is to see how AMD does. They just completely just get crushed overnight. If that does happen, take a look at NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is going higher. That's interesting to me that that's closing up at the top of the range, yet there's some worry out there in tech. Well, it just goes to show you that even if there is some worry, we're being able to shake off a lot of the worry in the tech industry. So let's keep going, team. If you guys see any stocks that you guys want to talk about here, we still got about 15 minutes left here. I was able to take some trades, but didn't get as much profits as I wanted. Like, you know how that goes, team. We'll see what happens here towards the close. It seems like there's definitely a little bit of some mixed signals out there. Marvell was doing well earlier, now starting to climb back here as it just recently pulled back all the way to the support. Seems like a lot of these stocks are having some pretty volatile moves today. You can see a move up, a move down, a move up, a move down. We'll see what happens here on Marvell. Can it take that next step up here and just start driving higher? We had a nice day in certain stocks here. Let's see if Apple wants to finally push here towards the close. I've been talking about how this has been trying to set up here for that upside action off the 183s. We'll look to see if it pushes through the 183.25s and pushes right back up. Seems like it's just been standing there, and the algos have been trying to drive it higher. Let's see what happens here on the Qs, if it can make a move up to 363 and all of a sudden just shake the worry towards the end. Amazon got some mentions in the AMD presentation. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Amazon definitely getting some mentions here. And then look how it's just kind of propping here, and it's just getting a lot of volume in the recent candle. I have a feeling that we could see Amazon even higher tomorrow, especially if this market's going to hold. If we're not going to just crack and we're just going to continue to climb, Amazon's one of those that I definitely keep on watch that's trying to play catch up and get right back to 170s. I think this is really one that I'm going to be kicking myself for a long time that I did not get below 100 and now is up there towards 126. All right. And definitely we're starting to see the Qs prop up a little bit here. So just be careful here. Will we close the candle towards the upside here? That's another thing that I'm looking at. We did open the candle at 363.30s. Will we get back there towards 363 and just close right near break even? That's something to watch for. All right, let me just keep watching charts, guys. I'm going to keep going. I can take a look at as many as you guys want. I see farms being mentioned in the chat. Let's go to the hourly levels here. Hourly levels don't look too bad as you got now what? Now you got in kind of one pullback area, two pullback areas, three pullback areas, and now you're trying to come down. I would look for one more attempt to break down and a reversal signal, but doesn't look too bad here off of this kind of pulling back action here in farm. Doesn't look too bad. It just needs to kind of hold on and eventually get a little bit of a pop here towards that little up move here. And you can see how you've been kind of breaking down here towards these levels. You tried to get down there towards the 280s before, and then you started turning around. This doesn't look too bad there and getting some good volume. The only thing is it's only about 40,000 shares. So if you are trading in this one, understand the liquidity is actually pretty small. So if you don't have a big position, then yeah, maybe it doesn't look too bad. But let's say if I was taking 20,000 shares of farm, yeah, I couldn't do it here at 293. It'd just be too low of liquidity here for a stock like this. All right, we'll see what else is going on. 260 will be a good level for farm. We'll see what happens there. It doesn't look too bad. It is pulling back. I don't know this name at all, and that's Farmers Brothers. It's a packaged foods. All right, we'll see what happens in that space. Industrials are the ones that I've seen just completely take off, and most people are not paying attention to these. Look at XLI. Look how this has continued to push. Look at CAT. Look at Deere. I've talked about it. The cat's out the hat, and it's coming back, baby. Picard making a move there to 79. Look at ITW. Look at that one. We've been talking about this one way before this move happened because, of course, what happens is Deere, Cat leads, Picard goes, then ITW likes to take another step up. Gonna take another shot here. I'm going after Honeywell. So, of course, I've been looking at this $200 area for Honeywell for quite a while now. So I'm taking a shot there off the 200s. Grabbed a little bit today. Not a big amount. I grabbed it at 207. So I was a little bit off the 200s, but I took a little bit of a shot. We'll see what happens there. Tesla still making a move up. So definitely going to be a little bit in the red on this name. We'll see what happens overnight if we do start to crack or not. I do think this is getting into this gap area where it's definitely overbought. I might have been early to this position, so not going to add for it here, but eventually going to look to see if Tesla can turn around. What's kind of the ultimate risk here? I got in at 257s. I'll give it about 10 points there. So 67s, definitely don't want to get through the 67s. And then I'm going to look for a big breakdown through this gap right back towards 234. All right, I do see some other names being mentioned here. Matt, you don't have to put it 3 times. Just put it up once for me, Matt. I don't mind looking at it, but you don't have to put it up 30 times. Google, will it come right back up? Google's been going sideways all day. I take a look at the hourly chart, and you can see how it's been trying to bounce off this support. It did make a move back up here, but then failed and rejected that move. So we really need to see a move back through 126 to recover. But this is just kind of holding up here by the 9 EMA and trying to hold support around the 123s. If it gets back towards 122s, I'd be a little concerned. But if we get back here towards 126, you could easily just keep climbing the wall. And I think on the weeklies, you are trying to almost make your way back here towards the highs there in Google. And it's trying to hold around the 120s. All right, I'm a fan of Honeywell, says Quantum. Yeah, me too. All right. No more Google talk, man. Come on, man. I wanted to actually leave you alone and not hit the timeout on you, but I will, unfortunately. All right, AMD. Let's take a look at that. AMD, what will this do? Will this come back? I mean, it just got smacked today, guys, and it had good announcements. So is this a topping event? It could very much be, right? And so are we going to buy the dip in AMD? Well, some people might. I probably won't right here. I think it needs to come back down a certain amount after this big run in this recent rally. All right, we'll see what else is going on here towards the close. The Qs are just trying to get above 363, but every time it does a wick. It hasn't been able to close a 5-minute candle above the 363s. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. Smash the like out there, team. Lucid, of course. Lucid, where are those lucid dreamers? You might need a beer after all these charts today, Jenny. Yeah, honestly, Jenny, I might need more than a beer today. I might need a Red Bull. I need a good shot of whiskey. I mean, it's that kind of day, man. Things have been moving, and I've been working. And who knows? Maybe it's that wearing the Denver jersey, turning it around. We'll see what happens. Qualcomm being brought out in the chat. Qualcomm, this is what I was looking to get today off of this rising support line at the 10 a.m. spot. Definitely missed the buy there because he made a nice little move to 125. Came back into that area and then bounced. So I think this one's just climbing the trend. Look at this has been really pushing. Of course, we talked about Qualcomm because it had an interview with their head of AI right here on Benzinga. So if you guys missed that interview, that was on PreMarket Prep. I really like this monthly candle. I like Qualcomm comparable to, let's say, an IBM. Also making an up move on the monthlies, but long term, this does look good. All right, let me keep going. Do you provide trader education, said Rebecca Pujols. Well, the truth is, that's what this is. That's what this is. This is trader education. Really, it's for you guys to learn how my swing trading process goes. Of course, right now, I got 5 swing trades on. I have Intel long, ExxonMobil short. I have Love long. That's one position that we can talk about today that I haven't gotten a chance to talk about. Let's go to Love. Southwest Airlines taking a little bit of a shot here after I've been kind of lagging behind on the airlines. I did take a good trade in BAL and UAL, but actually got stopped out of some of my AAL. And I'm a little bit upset because I took profits and the stocks just keep ripping. Look at DAL now. Look at UAL now. Keeps pushing strong, man. AAL kind of shook me out when it did this little downturn towards the 14, and now is up there to 1632 and taking off. So definitely, these are tough ones that I definitely wish I had. But I just said, you know what? I'll go after Love, and I might go after JetBlue, right? And the key here is just a starter right now because I feel like the market's a little bit extended, right? It could pull back and I might have to add to the position. So I'm going with a really light position now on that one to the point where it's in the green right now and I couldn't even take the profits because it's just pretty much nothing. It's about 1% up, but I'll look for pullbacks on this to kind of hold and kind of build a sideways action here. So we can see a little bit of some topping, a little bit of a pullback here towards around 31, 30.79, and then that's where I can add and look for the push through 33s. We'll see what happens there. Money Mitch, you know it, baby. Let's keep it going. That's what I'm here for, guys. And at the end of the day, what it's all about is I'm here for you guys. Like always, that's what this show is about. This is to cover the markets, take a look at what moved, what didn't. I can't tell you guys what to trade, but I can definitely wave flags over here saying, hey, look at this sector, look at this industry, look at the strength that we're seeing in some of these names. That's how we catch rotation and be able to catch those lags, right? We always talk about leaders and laggard style trading. That's relationship style trading. And that's really what I like to do. That's my bread and butter. All right, like a simple one that I did earlier. You guys saw me take it live. I was looking at the Qs to come down. I was looking for Microsoft to come down through that 334 level. And then look, we're coming back. Now the Qs are trying to make that move up. Remember I talked about how Apple was trying to prop up and make a move there? Look at Apple starting to make that move up here. So it doesn't look too bad there. I could flip and start going long on some names if I wanted to. I'm not going to do all that because it's just kind of more of a process where you got to be flipping your mind back and forth. But look at Intel here. Nice little move here towards the 34s. Will it get up there? This is one that I still got a piece of. I'm glad I kept a piece, but took some profits, and we'll see if this one can keep running. AMD, will that make a move back up? Of course, it could recover, right? Maybe even overnight. You can see how it's holding around this 124. One thing that I'd point to is it did catch a bounce around the 9 EMA, 122.50s, 122.49, 45s. So if price action goes below the 9 EMA, that's usually when momentum breaks. Today, it bounced right off of that level. I'll look to see if it cuts that tomorrow. All right, let's keep going. You guys smash the likes to 155 of you. Can I get 100 likes here, team? I think I've gone through at least 100 stocks. So do me the favor, guys. Hit the like, and I'll tell you what, I can always keep going as long as you guys smash them up. All right, let's see what else is going on out there in the markets today. Of course, energy slightly into the red now, starting to come down. So who knows? Maybe I have the perfect position here in ExxonMobil. I'll tell you one thing. I thought about shorting today at 108.50s on ExxonMobil for a day trade. I missed it by a little bit. It went to 108.23s. Actually, 34 is being the high on the day. Just almost got in there around the 108.50s. But good hit down there on ExxonMobil as it was coming back to my entry, 108.42s, smack down back towards 106. All right, we'll see what else is going on. We'll see if some other ones can take a lead. Let's see kind of some of these kind of XLU kind of coming down here. XLI is one that, man, this has really been strong. I'm going to keep watching that. And this is why I would not get in front of GE. It looks like it just wants to keep going and keep pushing higher. We'll see what else happens on maybe like a Lockheed Martin. Can that get a little bit of a bounce? That's in the industrial space. Can that push right back to the upside? Keep a watch out there. All right, we'll see what else is going on. Looks like another dark cloud on AMD. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely turnarounds towards the top. Not what you want to be seeing if you're a bull. All right, let's keep going. I heard something about my dog. My dog has had his eyes so shut. Oh, come on. Oh, Raz, I didn't want to hear about that. Is he okay? I just hear like some bad news about a dog getting out of surgery. Is he all right, Raz? Honestly, I interrupt the show for that all day, man. I hope he gets better, man. Hope he kind of can bounce back and get that eye back there working fine. Definitely love my dogs out there, so it's a little bit of a hard thing to hear that. Yeah, he is. All right. Well, as long as he'll be okay, that's what matters most. And trust me, stocks can matter later. I could always make another trade. That's the fun part about knowing how to trade. You don't worry about one opportunity. You know there's another one. And what matters most, always family out there. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for us. It's 3:59. It's about to be 4 p.m. I really hope he gets better soon, Raz. I'm out there. I'm supporting you, man. Definitely. And days like that, man, if you're having other issues, I definitely say that trading takes a priority number 2, right? First things first is you out there. So if you don't have the right mental health, if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the right focus, if you feel things in your personal life are going up and down, as traders, we all want to do one thing, right? And that's end in the green. The number one way we can end in the green is being on top of our game. So what does that mean? Stay in the zone, focus. If you're feeling like things are getting a little bit shaky, then you can always take a day break. You can come back later. For those traders that, make their bread and butter in the markets, well, for those traders, like always, they even know that missing one trade isn't going to make or break them. I'll see you next time right here. Smash the like. Have a great one, team. Hit the like. Pencils down. It's 4 o'clock. We'll see what happens in AMD. Definitely a little bit of a turnaround here in tech today. The Q's recovering, though, after that crack. It didn't necessarily break down. Even though AMD broke down, tech really didn't break down and has been holding on here. So we'll find out what happens tomorrow. Like always, you guys can find out more on Pre-Market Prep tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys there. Smash the like on your way out.